Come on, Texas, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Seriously, I'm just like things that make sense to me, like trying at least to close the gun show loophole. You shouldn't be able to buy a modded out assault rifle from the trunk of a car from behind a Denny's from a guy who got it off Craigslist from a guy who walked into Walmart and got it. That doesn't make any sense to me. You know, you shouldn't. We should just make it a little bit more difficult for people with known violent tendencies to be able to get a gun. And I'm not talking about the cops. No, not talking about the cops. I'm saying let's make it a little bit more difficult for mentally unstable people with known violent tendencies to be able to get a gun. And again, I'm not talking about the cops. I'm saying if you can go on their Facebook page and see that this guy's a virulent racist, right? You know, make it a little bit more difficult for virulent racists who are mentally unstable with known violent tendencies to be able to get, and again, I'm not talking about the cops. Or am I? No. I think we can all agree that blue lives murder. Now, not all of them, not most of them, but a bunch of them murder. They're murdering us. Well, not us, we're white, but you know who doesn't like that bit? Cops. They don't like it. They don't like it. And you know, I think it's important, I'm being sincere, I think it's important that we acknowledge, all of us, that there are plenty of good, decent, ethical, very brave cops who put their lives on the line every day, you know, and they don't appreciate, sure. And they don't appreciate being painted with this broad brush as being, you know, violent predators, you know, just because of the actions of a minority of their brothers. They don't like being stereotyped so that when you see blue and you just think, oh, violent thug, they don't appreciate it. I think I made my point. And you know, after every mass shooting, there was another one today in Ohio, 8 people. Same thing always happens, always. News media will trot out the victims' relatives on TV, and whoever it is, the mother, the father, the grieving son or daughter, husband and wife, sister, brother, whoever, same thing always happens. They start crying, and they all say the same thing, you know. How many more innocent people have to be shot to death before we do something in this country? And you know, it's a valid question, and it deserves an answer. So I crunched the numbers. And it turns out 1,776 more people have to die before we do something about it. But there's a caveat. It's not cumulative. Has to be all at once. Has to be all at once. This is America, go big or go home, all right? That's how we do, all right? Yeah. What, Sandy Hook, 20 kids and 6 teachers? Pfft, that didn't do anything for us. Fuck that, had the reverse effect. No. It's gotta be big. It's gotta be big, big, big. And if you're like-minded, you wanna see gun safety enacted, then what I suggest is we hire somebody to shoot 1,776 people. But we justify it the same way we justified dropping an atomic bomb on Hiroshima, and then 3 days later, dropping another one on Nagasaki. Yes, we killed 130,000 innocent people, civilians, not soldiers. Yes, but we did it for the greater good. Because by doing that, perhaps we got the war to end sooner than it would have. And maybe we saved 200,000 lives, 500,000 lives, 1 million lives. See, it was for the greater good. So that's what I'm saying. We pay somebody to go to the next big event, Kentucky Derby? Kentucky Derby. Let's say Kentucky Derby. No great loss, really. Maybe some cool hats, but outside of that. Yeah, we pay somebody to go in Bane style and just take them all, and preferably a white guy. It's got to be a white guy, or it's going to set the whole cause back like 40 years, you know? And here's the thing. If we didn't do anything as a country after Sandy Hook, 20 kids and 6 teachers had the reverse effect. Donations to the NRA tripled. Gun sales tripled after that. Then we're fucked. We are fucked, all right? And after Sandy Hook, Wayne LaPierre, the executive vice president of the NRA, went on television and had a press conference, and he said the solution was to arm the teachers. That's what he, well, see, I get that a lot, and you're thinking emotionally, all right? You're not thinking intellectually, because if you think intellectually, it makes a little more sense when you think about the temperament and the personality that makes up the kind of person who willfully, takes what's easily the most thankless job in America for very little money, where the sole satisfaction is to create a good, decent, creative, inquisitive, ethical, moral person, put them out in the world, and then potentially shoot them later on. Because that's what teachers love to do. There are 2 things that all teachers love. They love to teach, and they love to shoot. Oh, they love shooting. Oh, don't let them fool you. They love shooting. All right, class, so when we last left off, we were talking about homonyms, and a homonym, and you'll forgive me, but this isn't my normal writing hand, but all right. A homonym is a word that sounds the same, but it's spelled differently. Cody, open up your mouth. Is that gum in your mouth? Is it? It is, isn't it? Yeah. And did you bring enough for the entire class? Did you bring enough for the entire class? Now get up here, get up here, get up here. That's right, that's right. I want that gum. I want that gum, Cody. No, don't spit it out in your hand. I want you to put it on the barrel of the gun with your mouth. Use your mouth. And then all right, well, just go to the principal's office and have him call your mom, bring you a change of pants. All right. Best teacher's aide ever. No, that doesn't make any sense. Arm the teachers. That's not gonna do anything. There are armed guards at Columbine. That's not gonna do anything. No, you wanna ensure safety and security. You have to arm the students, all right? Every student gets a gun. Every student gets a gun in my America, all right? And I know what you're thinking, but David, at Sandy Hook, they were first graders, right? They were like 5, 6 years old. They can't handle a Bushmaster. The recoil will take their arm off. Right. That's why we give them those Smith & Wesson lady guns, those little fun guns for ladies, right? Maybe they wing the shooter, buy some time. That's when the 2nd and 3rd graders are the ones who come and go, freeze, motherfucker! You know, that's how it'll work. Yeah. And currently there are only 282 congressmen and 33 governors and, of course, some state legislators who are beholden to the NRA. They're venal, craven people, and they won't even allow a bill to come to the floor. They knock it down each time. That's not a lot of people for a country of over 320 million people, They won't even allow the bill to come to the floor for a vote. No. NRA says, no, it's not gonna happen. And I wonder what would happen if, say whoever the NRA's highest rated congressman was, 100% rating, 5 golden smiley bullets, whatever the fuck it is, What would happen if they were at work, right? And it was take your daughter to work day, right? And some crazy motherfucker came in, right? Kevlar vest, armed to the teeth, modded out AK-47, Bushmasters, Glocks, magazines that had steel-jacketed, hollow-point, armor-piercing bullets. Came in, all stuff he got off of the internet 3 days ago. And came in, took out security, got on the floor, took out 9, 10, 11, 12 people before he was shot to death. And one of them was the congressman's daughter. And I wonder what would happen, what he would think as he's sitting there cradling his dying daughter in his hands, and her body is riddled with bullets, her spine is pierced, and she's drowning in her own fluid because her lung is pierced, and he could see all the bullet holes and the deep, dark, sticky blood that's pulsing out. It's spurting out, but it's getting weaker and weaker and weaker with each breath, and this beautiful girl, well, beautiful on the inside, I guess, but beautiful girl, is looking up and she's trying to say, Daddy, what happened? What happened? But she can't because her larynx is sliced in two, so all that's coming out is a wet, gurgly wheeze, and he can literally see the light leaving her eyes as she dies in his arms. And I wonder if he would think, oh, God, small price to pay. Freedom isn't free, honey. Freedom isn't free. All right, put the body on the pile and then get that pile out of here. It's making us look really bad right now, all right? Wait, who's on the phone? Oh, Jesus. Oh, yes, hello. Hello, Mr. LaPierre. Yeah. No, sir. No, it will not happen again. She was my only child. Okay, you know where to wire the money. Okay, thank you. Maybe he might think that. Or maybe he might think, oh, wow, now that this tragedy has affected me personally, I can see how awful and wrong it was. I don't know, one of the two. One of the two things are probably tough to tell. Who knows? And another thing people often say is, why do we, in this country, why do we allow so many of our innocent kids to be shot to death? Why do we allow that as a country? Well, not us, God. Why does God, we have no control over the situation at all, it's all in God's hands. Why does God allow so many of our innocent kids to be shot to death? And, I know he has mysterious ways, y'all, but what is he thinking? What are you thinking, God? Taking on, and I'm not questioning you because I know you have your mysterious ways and you are omnipotent and all wise, but it just seems like you're taking an awful lot of our children. What is the thinking behind it? Wow. It is, that's something that a lot of people ask. Why is God allowing so many of our innocent kids to be shot to death? And I have a possible answer. And you're not going to like it. But maybe God is allowing so many of our kids to be shot to death so that they can go to heaven, where they then service the ISIS terrorists and suicide bombers as part of the 72 virgins they're rewarded with. It's